Now that I got your attention with some clickbait, here's this week's adventure on Eastbound and Down. This week on Eastbound and Down, the heat is on in Florida as we prepare for 30-year record low temperatures. This is how I prepare to stay warm on the road on this week's episode of Eastbound and Down. Well, what up everybody? Getting ready for what they're saying is to be a record cold Christmas here in Florida. 30 years record cold, and it's been rainy and drizzly for the past 3 days, so I've pretty much, as a hardy New Englander, have gotten myself ready the best I can being down here in Florida. But I thought that today would be a good day to take you through what I do in a pop-up camper, which is really designed for 3-season camping. That's why I bought it, because I figured most of the camping I'd be doing would be down south in the wintertime, so I wasn't really worried too much about the cold. But let me tell you, last year, completely unprepared, it got cold. 19 degrees was the lowest temperature that happened to me, and I was unprepared, and let me tell you, that was a tough night. But now, this year, it's going to be cold, but I'm ready. And let's go through what I do to keep myself warm in the rig when it gets really cold. And they're talking 23 degrees tonight. So this is what I do. So the rig from the factory, it comes with a propane furnace, which to heat the area that I have here, which is not that big, maybe 30 square feet. So this propane furnace will heat this entire rig very efficiently. It's loud, and it uses a lot of fuel when it gets cold, because I have basically a canvas top, as you can see, and this material is definitely not rated for cold weather. This furnace definitely keeps me warm, but what I found last year is it really chews up my batteries, and it really chews up my propane. And what happened last year was I ran out of batteries to run the furnace, because it is an electric fan, and I killed my batteries, which in turn then I had no heat, and I was really in trouble. This year I won't be using this as much, because what I did was I went ahead and I got myself a nice thermal heated blanket, which draws nothing for power. Very, 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 very slow draw, maybe 5 watts. I could run this thing all night long. And what I do is I'm charging up, you can hear my generator running. I'm charging up the Jackery right now, so I'll have 100% on my lithium setup, so I'll be able to run this heated blanket all night long. I also have with me, I also have a 20-degree sleeping bag if I need it. It's a mummy bag. I can get under the mummy bag, I can get under the blanket, and with a heated blanket, I should be nice and warm, no problems. And you got to remember, in Florida, I mean, it's going to get cold tonight, 23 degrees. The temperature is actually now, it's actually coming down. It's starting the slow descent. We were at like 60 something, we're at 57. They're talking by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock tonight, it's going to be down 30s, then the 20s. So I have a sleeping blanket. I have a comforter. I also have, like I said, the new thermal blanket, which should keep me nice and warm. But in the case that if it really, really is cold and I don't want to run the propane, because right now the propane is also powering my refrigerator. So I'm trying to save all the propane to keep my food cold. So I don't really want to run the furnace on the propane because it will kill my batteries. But what I have here is a very, very, very cheap investment that I got at Walmart. It was 15 bucks. It's a 1500 watt heater on high, but this heater, I have run it on the lowest setting. It's quiet and it keeps this camper nice and warm. Now, mind you, I have to run the generator to do that. But you know what? To run that generator for 10 hours on one little tank of gas, to run this to keep me warm is a total, it's not even, it's $5 and I'm warm all night long. You know, the campground might not like it if it's 2 in the morning and it's really cold out and I run into an emergency. I got to fire the generator up. But you know what? It's an emergency. But I don't think I'm going to need this. This is here, you know what? Just in case. I'm hoping between the sleeping bag, the heated blanket, I should be okay. But, you know, I don't know. We'll see what happens, how cold it gets. And if it gets really cold and everything shits the bed on me, I've got enough wood outside split that I can light a fire and stay warm. So let's watch the weather. Let's see what happens. And you know what? I came to Florida hoping that it would be nice and sunny and warm, and I'm in a 3-day pattern of rainy and cold, and it's going to be really cold. So you know what? Merry Christmas from the road, and you know, I hope everybody back home on the Cape, you know, stays nice and warm.